Well, hello there, and good afternoon from Mama Jane's husband and from
Mama Jane.
We're on board the Aurora from P&O, and we are on day 3 of a 21-day cruise to Iceland and Norway. And we thought we'd tell you about life on board post-COVID, because, well, it's getting back to normal, isn't it, Mama Jane?
It is, whatever normal is, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's, we're on Aurora, and so I can only speak for this not even this cruise line, because P&O may do things differently on other ships, but certainly on Aurora, which is a very little ship.
It's the smallest in the P&O fleet.
Yeah.
It's got 1846 people on it if it's full, but it's nowhere near that capacity at the moment.
No, and it's lovely. And so, what are we now able to do? Well, although masks are, well, I don't know how they worded it actually. It said if you want, you can wear a mask. Very few people do. All the staff do. They're all wearing masks. Very few passengers are wearing masks. And I feel quite all right with that. There's loads of hand gel still around, and I love the fact that their containers are clear, so you can see that it's nearly empty or whatever. And so I'm really like that. I don't know whether hand gel really makes any difference, but it's there and we use it.
Certainly cuts down on norovirus, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I like one thing I think that other cruise liners could learn from P&O is that on every landing we've got hand gel.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you come down the banisters or you come out of the lift, wash your hands.
Yeah.
So that, I think that's really good.
And as what you call Mama Jane's husband said,
Mama Jane's husband, yeah.
Whether it helps with COVID now, I don't know, but it certainly helps with the norovirus, which used to be rife on ships. I don't think it is so much now.
No.
So that's one good thing that's come out of this.
Yeah. And the other thing that's changed is the buffet is back to self-service, which is really good, isn't it?
It is good.
So you can choose your own portion sizes.
Yeah.
And the buffet's been really good as well, hasn't it?
Very good. We've been reading on sort of different Facebook, what do you call it, boards, that there's no choice, that it's rubbish, and that it's this and that and the other. Actually, as far as this ship is concerned, this sailing, there is lots of choice, and if you don't find something you like, I really don't know what you're looking for.
Last night, for instance,
This is in the buffet.
In the buffet, last night, we had a choice of veal. We had a choice of lasagna, if you didn't want veal. And there was some, what were they?
I can't remember, it's some Oriental type thing.
Type crispy thing, weren't
Yeah. That was, and all different vegetables. You know, I keep reading that all you get is broccoli. Well, yes, there was some broccoli, but there was lots of other things. And then the cold food, there were so many kinds of salads and just everything really.
Plenty of options.
Plenty of options.
And the buffet is not particularly big, but in the ship's not big.
No.
So it's like a lot of the ship is compact, and that doesn't mean small, but it does mean easy to get round, and it is a buffet that you're not going to get lost in. And everything is well stocked up.
Oh yeah.
And the staff are just so attentive.
There's so many of them.
Oh,
and they're
fantastic.
so attentive. They're just lovely. Absolutely.
Now, an example is I asked the wine waiter. In the buffet, there's one of the staff goes around for doing the alcoholic drinks, and I asked him for some coffee. Well, he said, "Oh, sir, that's not what I do." But what he did do is he went and told the lady who was doing the coffees, and all of a sudden she appeared and got our hot drinks for us.
Yeah.
Now that's what I call service.
Yeah, he didn't. He could have just said no. You need the ordinary waitress, or indeed it's self-service anyway. Really, she just sort of goes round and sort of tops you up or whatever. So actually, it was above and beyond.
Of course. Two types of sausage at breakfast. That always impresses me. But I haven't found an omelette station yet. So that's something that's not so good. I haven't seen the omelette stations.
No.
So I might ask for an omelette tomorrow morning for breakfast, see what happens. Yeah, I think I might will. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the food, and then we've also eaten in the main restaurant, main dining room.
Main one, cause we had a celebration night.
We did.
That was good, that wasn't
Not
it?
us personally. The
No.
whole thing.
The whole
you know,
ship.
it
They
was a
call,
dressy up
they
night,
call the
dressy up.
gala night celebration nights now.
Yeah. So you wear your posh frock.
So
Well, you didn't wear
you
posh frock.
black tie nights.
Yeah.
And well, it went fine, wasn't it?
It was very nice.
Everybody, much everybody were dressed smart.
Yeah.
Certainly in the main areas.
Yeah.
And it looked all very elegant.
It did look
didn't
nice.
It looked really elegant.
Yeah.
And we had a lovely meal that night
Mm-hmm.
in the main restaurant. Now, we did say it was a 5-course meal, but it weren't a 5-course meal, because one of the courses was, what was that thing we started with?
An amuse-bouche.
I think trainees.
Actually,
had
I
done
think
it.
they count your coffee as the 5th course.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
My
what we
bouche
had,
was not amused by it.
No. An unamused bouche, yeah. There were loads of it going back unfinished. I noticed that. I finished mine as
We
well,
finished
yeah,
ours.
because
I thought, well,
that's the way.
yeah,
You
wasn't,
did.
It wasn't unpleasant. It
No.
just was a bit. That's a bit unusual.
Yeah, what was that about? But the food we had itself, the starters were lovely, weren't they?
Lovely.
The main course was lovely. Puddings, as ever, were lovely. Now, because I'd heard there was a controversy over the cheese plate on P&O, I had the cheese plate, and it had 3 different cheeses on it, and biscuits were fine. Came with butter. It came with dates, dried apricots. So it
Some
was
carrots and celery.
Yeah.
And plenty of cheese.
It was not a world-beating cheese plate, but it was perfectly satisfactory cheese plate.
Indeed, in the buffet, you can have as much cheese as you. There was this big thing going on that you're limited with cheese on P&O because it's, I don't know why, but there's this big story and scandal and thing. Well, I can tell you now, do come on P&O if you're a cheese eater, because you can fill your boots, or indeed whatever else
You can fill your biscuits.
You fill your biscuits.
You can fill your biscuits.
There's plenty of it.
Plenty of happening. We met the entertainment
what a
manager
hoot.
and his deputy, and they are lovely.
Absolutely
I have to say.
lovely. Yeah.
We've experienced some strange entertainment directors recently, but they're both classic entertainment.
What you would expect.
What you would expect, and we really like them, don't we?
The thing, they don't come on stage saying Heidi hi, but you almost expect them to, because they are so full of enthusiasm, and we're all here to have fun, aren't we? And
infectious is how I would describe it.
infectious,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we like them.
We like.
And the cabin, we're in the usual inside cabin, which we like to have because it's cheaper that way. And I think we got a little bit of an upgrade because we booked the cheapest inside cabin, but we've ended up with quite a large inside cabin, and it's right in the middle of the ship. So you normally, if you pay the cheapest inside cabin, you always end at the edges of the ship where there's most movement.
On the edge.
But actually we've ended up right slap in the middle of the ship, in quite a large inside cabin. It's got a sofa, it's got plenty of things, not many plugs, but then this ship was built in 2020, and it's not blessed with a lot of plugs.
But in 2020, who had a lot of things to plug in and charge, and we didn't have iPads and iPhones and whatever else, cameras and da-da-da-da. So I'm sure it was adequate then, but if there's one grumble, but we've managed, we've jiggled it about, we've managed, yeah.
Always come prepared, you see, with things like that. And the furniture's lovely. I would say it's a bit similar to G-Plan, would you?
G-Plan. Yeah. Imagine G-Plan for you of a certain age.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, which is lovely. The steward is lovely. Oh, you don't get turn down service at night.
No.
Now, whether that's general on P&O, whether it's just since COVID, I don't know.
Which also means no chocolate.
No chocolates. But having said that, it's kept thoroughly clean, and he goes above and beyond keeping it nice, and yeah, no complaints.
And the bathroom's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite big.
Yeah. There are parts of the ship that have an unfortunate colour scheme, which is like it's a rose pink, I think it's meant to be, but it actually comes out as if you've ever been in a house where they smoked a lot, it comes more like a smoker's paint job, really.
But it isn't, and that isn't why it's that colour. It's just this unfortunate colour.
Yeah, so that's a bit.
It's tired in some areas, particularly the bathrooms. It is tired. But having said that, the shower is amazing.
Yeah. Now it is unfortunately a shower curtain, and I know, but I will say they've got a very neat design in the shower, in that part of it has got a very small partition, so rather than you being able to have water going at either end of the curtain, one end is covered by a really small partition, so you can't squirt water through that end. Very clever. Now, for somebody who notoriously gets water everywhere in a bathroom where there's a shower curtain, so far I've been good, haven't I? I've not caused a flood.
No.
That's partly because I can only put water at one edge of the curtain.
Yeah.
So a very clever design in the bathroom here at P&O. Other companies should copy.
Take note if you're having a shower curtain.
Take note. So that's it. So we're having a really great time, aren't we, Mama Jane? Mama Jane. We're having a really great time on board here.
Yeah.
And
the entertainment is fabulous.
Yeah. Food's great.
It's, we've had the music, we've had various singers, we've had a comedian. Now that can always be a bit dodgy, but in fact he was hilarious and not too rude.
Risque.
He wasn't. No, in fact he weren't really at all.
I think he was the best comedian I've seen on a cruise ship.
Yes, it could be.
So that was really good. Anyway, it's a goodbye from Mama Jane's husband, and it's a goodbye from Mama Jane.
Me.
So, goodbye.